Bahíyyih Khánum, the daughter of Bahá'u'lláh, enjoyed a life of privilege until the age of 6. That changed in 1852 when her father was arrested and imprisoned, and their home was ransacked and their possessions stolen. Privilege was followed by poverty, banishment, and captivity which lasted until she was 62 years of age. Despite the harshness of her circumstances, she led an extraordinarily beautiful life, and played a pivotal role in the formation of the Baha'i world community. Her life of dedication, service, and steadfastness has been a source of inspiration for generations of Baha'is. Her father gave her the title of the greatest holy leaf and gave her brother Abbas Effendi the title of the most mighty branch. To understand these titles, it is necessary to be familiar with the term Sidrat al-Muntahá, which appears in the Quran. Translated literally, the Sidrat al-Muntahá means lote tree of the utmost farthest boundary. The Prophet Muhammad traveled to heaven with the Archangel Gabriel and encountered this tree at the end of the seventh heaven. It was a point beyond which Archangel Gabriel could not go, only Muhammad was able to pass. The Sidrat al-Muntahá or divine lote tree is mentioned extensively in the revelations of Bahá'u'lláh and the Báb. In Lee Nelson's concordance to the writings of Bahá'u'lláh, there are 13 references to Sidrat al-Muntahá, more than 70 to the blessed tree or the tree beyond which there is no passing, 38 mentions of lote tree, and some 37 of the burning bush. In the Baha'i writings it is also a title which refers to the manifestation of God. It is a title for Bahá'u'lláh, and is also associated with the burning bush. This is a subject too detailed for this video, but in the description box you will find a link to an informative article about it. Here are passages from the writings of Bahá'u'lláh relating to the greatest holy leaf.
Let these exalted words be thy love song on the tree of Bahá, O thou most holy and resplendent leaf. Verily, we have elevated thee to the rank of one of the most distinguished among thy sex, and granted thee, in my court, a station such as none other woman hath surpassed. Thus have we preferred thee and raised thee above the rest, as a sign of grace from him who is the Lord of the throne on high and earth below. We have created thine eyes to behold the light of my countenance, thine ears to hearken unto the melody of my words, thy body to pay homage before my throne. Do thou render thanks unto God, thy Lord, the Lord of all the world. How high is the testimony of the Sidrat al-Muntahá for its leaf? How exalted the witness of the tree of life unto its fruit! Through my remembrance of her a fragrance laden with the perfume of musk hath been diffused. Well is it with him that hath inhaled it and exclaimed, All praise be to thee, O God, my Lord the most glorious. How sweet thy presence before me! How sweet to gaze upon thy face, to bestow upon thee my loving kindness, to favor thee with my tender care, to make mention of thee in this, my tablet, a tablet which I have ordained as a token of my hidden and manifest grace unto thee. O my leaf! Hearken thou unto my voice. Verily there is none other God but me, the Almighty, the All-Wise. I can well inhale from thee the fragrance of my love and the sweet-smelling savour wafting from the raiment of my name, the most holy, the most luminous. Be astir upon God's tree in conformity with thy pleasure, and unloose thy tongue in praise of thy Lord amidst all mankind. Let not the things of the world grieve thee. Cling fast unto this divine lote tree from which God hath graciously caused thee to spring forth. I swear by my life. It behoveth the lover to be closely joined to the loved one, and here indeed is the best beloved of the world.
Here are a few passages from letters by Abdul-Bahá to his sister, the greatest holy leaf.
O my well-beloved, deeply spiritual sister! Day and night thou livest in my memory. Whenever I remember thee my heart swelleth with sadness and my regret groweth more intense. Grieve not, for I am thy true, thy unfailing comforter. Let neither despondency nor despair becloud the serenity of thy life or restrain thy freedom. These days shall pass away. We will, please God, in the Abha kingdom and beneath the sheltering shadow of the blessed beauty, Forget all these are earthly cares and will find each one of these base calumnies amply compensated by his expressions of praise and favor. From the beginning of time, sorrow and anxiety, regret and tribulation, have always been the lot of every loyal servant of God. Ponder this in thine heart and consider how very true it is. Wherefore, set thine heart on the tender mercies of the ancient beauty, and be thou filled with abiding joy and intense gladness. O my dear sister! Praise be to God, within the sheltering grace of the blessed beauty, here in the lands of the west a breeze hath blown from over the rose gardens of his bestowals, and the hearts of many people have been drawn as by a magnet to the Bahá realm. Whatever hath come to pass is from the confirmations of the Beloved, for otherwise, what merit had we, or what capacity? We are as a helpless babe, but fed at the breast of heavenly grace. We are no more than weak plants, but we flourish in the spring rain of his bestowals. Wherefore, as a thank-offering for these bounties, on a certain day don thy garb to visit the shrine, the Kaaba of our heart's desire, turn thyself toward him on my behalf, lay down thy head on that sacred threshold, and say, O divine providence! O thou forgiving Lord! Sinner though I be, I have no refuge save thyself. All praise be thine, that in my wanderings over mountains and plains, my toils and troubles on the seas, thou hast answered still my cries for help, and confirmed me, and favored me, and honored me with service at thy threshold. To a feeble ant, thou hast given Solomon's might. Thou hast made of a gnat a lion in the thicket of thy mercy. Thou hast bestowed on a drop the swelling waves of the sea, thou hast carried up a moat to the pinnacles of grace. Through thee. Otherwise, what strength did the fragile dust possess, what power did this feeble being have? O divine providence! Do not seize us in our sins, but give us refuge. Do not look upon our evil ways, but grant forgiveness. Consider not our just deserts, but open wide thy door of grace. Thou art the mighty, the powerful. Thou art the seer, the knower. O my cherished sister! Thou art never absent from my thoughts. I speak of thee and call thee to mind at all times. It is my hope that out of God's favor and grace thou dost keep safe and well, and dost visit the two sacred thresholds on my behalf.
A grieving Shoghi Effendi writing after the passing of his great aunt, the greatest holy leaf.
Whensoever, in sleep, I call to mind and see thy smiling face, whensoever, by day or night, I circumambulate thine honored tomb, then in the innermost depths of my being are rekindled the fires of yearning, and the cord of my patience is severed, and again the tears come and all the world grows dark before my eyes. And whensoever I remember what blows were rained upon thee at the close of thy days, the discomforts, trials and illnesses, and I picture thy surroundings now, in the sanctuary on high, in the midmost heart of heaven, beside the pavilions of grandeur and might, and I behold thy present glory, thy deliverance, the delights, the bounties, the bestowals, the majesty and dominion and power, the joy, thine exaltation, and thy triumph, then the burden of my grieving is lightened, the cloud of sorrow is dispelled, the heat of my torment abates. Then is my tongue loosed to praise and thank thee, and thy Lord, him who did fashion thee and did prefer thee to all other handmaidens, and did give thee to drink from his sweet-scented lips, who withdrew the veil of concealment from thy true being and made thee to be a true example for all thy kin to follow, and caused thee to be the fragrance of his garment for all of creation. And at such times I strengthen my resolve to follow in thy footsteps, and to continue onward in the pathway of thy love.
From the pen of the greatest holy leaf.
All praise to the omnipotent Lord, that in this auspicious day he who is the Sun of Bounty has shone out so fair and bright as to light up the world of the hearts.
He has burned away the veils of waywardness and ignorance.
He has struck off the fetters of baseless myths and ignoble concepts that chained the people hand and foot. He has cleansed and burnished the mirrors of men's souls,
sullied by the dust and rust of this dark world. He has opened wide the door to that celestial tavern of matchless wine, and he is freely pouring out the immortal draught of knowledge and perception and love. He has hoisted the banner of oneness, and destroyed the foundations of estrangement. Under the sway of his unity, the many-colored races and diverse religions have tasted the rose-red wine of his love, and are aliens no more. Those pure in spirit who have set eyes upon him, and approached the place he dwells in, reflecting him have shone out like mirrors, and cleaving to him alone, they have detached their hearts from all else but him. They have heard, with their inner ears, his words, and they have noted his ways, and forgotten all else. They are ever soaring upward, out of the lower world to the world above, and they are fit to be told the mysteries, and they understand them. Such a day, then, is a day for praise and thanks, a time of benedictions and blessings, a time to wash away the stains of earth's defilement. Let us turn our hearts to the world aloft, and cup our hands and supplicate our matchless loved one, and urgently entreat him, saying, O thou kind bestower, O nourisher of our souls and hearts! We have no aim, except to walk thy path, we have no wish, except to bring thee joy. Our souls are united, and our hearts are welded, each to each. In offering thee our thanks and praise, in following thy ways and soaring in thy skies, we are all one. We are helpless, stand thou by us, and give us strength. Thou art the protector, the provider, the kind. From the diary of Keith Ransom Keller. The greatest holy leaf streamed an effulgence of beauty and heavenly love that I have never witnessed from any human being. To come into her presence was to hush and exalt the soul. She was like a bird at dawn, the coming of spring, everything that wakes our wonder and reveals the depths and not the tumults of hearts. From the diary of Juliet Thompson. We went to the holy household to visit the holy leaves. I shall never forget that little procession as they entered the room with the dignity of queens, led by the greatest holy leaf. She was all in white, the greatest holy leaf, the daughter of the blessed perfection. Her face had the look of one who had passed through crucifixion and was resurrected in another world. In it shone great blue eyes, eyes that had looked upon many sorrows and now were ineffably tender.